Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a 5-headed dragon deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this one for you guys because this deck is actually suggested to me by one of my patrons, Izzy. And this deck is a super interesting deck that actually summons out one of the coolest fusion monsters in the entire game. 5-headed dragon. And this build can actually summon out 5-headed link dragon as well, which is awesome. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description every single video, getting a signed cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month you're a patron. And definitely give Izzy some love down in the comments down below for suggesting such an awesome deck. So let's get straight on into this one, guys. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of the new Dark Dragon. This card is definitely a 3-of in the build because this card is actually a walking polymerization. This card is super easy to summon out to your side of the field because all you have to do is banish a level 8 dragon monster from your X deck to special summon this card from the hand. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except dragon monsters, which is totally fine because that's all we're summoning anyways. You can also activate one of these effects to fusion summon a fusion monster from your X deck using monsters from your hand or field, or target one other attack because there's a monster on the field, make this card lose exactly 500 attack and defense, and if you do, destroy that monster, which is a really cool effect. We then play 2 copies of the new Light Dragon. This card is really good just as a 2-of in the build. Your copy of Darkened is just a little bit better, which is why I play 3 and 2. But this card has the ability that just like your copy of Darkened, that you banish a level 8 dragon monster from your X deck to special summon this card from your hand, but it locks you into dragons for the rest of the turn, which is not that big of a deal. So we have some really awesome targets to be able to banish off this card's effect. And it's super easy to banish a level 8 dragon from your X deck to summon out this card. This card also has the ability that during your main phase you can fusion summon a fusion monster from your X deck using monsters from your hand or field, being a walking polymerization. But this card's unique ability is when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can actually make this card lose exactly 500 attack and defense, and if you do, that opponent's monster loses 1500 attack points, which is why I play just 2 copies of this card, because it doesn't pop the monster. This card just makes the monsters lose 1500 attack. We then play 3 copies of Black Metal Dragon. This card is the best normal summon in the entire deck because it helps us go in for our Dragon Link plays, basically normal summoning this card out to our side of the field, linking it away for a copy of Striker Dragon, searching out a copy of your Darkness Metal Dragon, and then going in for all of your plays. We then play a single copy of Darkness Metal Dragon. Darkness Metal is searchable of your copy of Black Metal Dragon because it is a Red Eyes monster, but this card is super easy to summon by just banishing a dragon monster to be able to summon out this card to your side of the field, which is super easy to do. And also during your main phase, you can actually special summon a dragon monster from your hand or grave, which is a really cool effect just to help you keep link climbing. This card is definitely a 1-of in the build. We then play a single copy of Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon. This card is great to be able to search off your copy of your Black Metal Dragon, because you're usually going to get 2 searches off of Black Metal Dragon with your combos, because you're going to summon it the first time, link it away for your copy of Striker Dragon, to be able to search out your copy of Darkness Metal, bring it back with your copy of Darkness Metal once you summon Darkness Metal, and then link it away again with your copy of Darkness Metal to go in for a link 2. Then you can search out your copy of Red Eyes Black Meteor, so you can discard it to the graveyard for your copy of Dragon Intervene. You're really not summoning out this card to your side of the field, you're just searching it so you have something to discard off your copy of Dragon Intervene so you can keep link climbing. It's really good in the deck, but I feel like 1 is all you need. We then play 2 copies of Rocket Tracer. Rocket Tracer is definitely a 2-of in the build, as this card has the ability at quick effect you can actually target a face-up card that you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon a rocket monster from your deck except another copy of this card. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the X deck for the rest of the turn except dark monsters, but by the time you usually summon this card in your combos, you're probably already summoned out the monsters that are not dark, so we can just step into some really awesome dark monsters like 5-headed dragon. We then play a single copy of Rocket Recharger. Recharger is really good as a 1-of, just basically extender in the deck that we can summon off our copy of our Quick Launch, which is just really good to be able to summon out to our side of the field. We then play a single copy of Rocket Caliber. Rocket Caliber is amazing in this build, but just as a 1-of because it's just a really good extender as well, as you can special summon this card from your hand to a zone a Dark Link monster points to, plus this card is a tuner, which is going to help us to step into a bunch of really cool synchro plays. We then play a single copy of Abzerauder Dragon. Abzerauder is really good for our combos as well, because you can easily send this card to the graveyard off your copy of Dragon Ravine to be able to search out a rocket monster from your deck to your hand, letting you search out your copy of your Tracer Dragon, which is really, really good. We then play 3 copies of Lubellion. The Bestial monsters are just really good in this deck overall to basically just use these cards to help you step into all of your different plays. This card has the ability, it cannot be normal summon or set, it must be special summon from your hand or grave by attributing a level 6 or higher Dark Dragon monster. You can also send this card from your hand to the graveyard to add a Bestial monster from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card. And during your main phase, you can place a branded continuous spell or trap from your deck face up on the field, which you're always placing your copy of your branded beast on your side of the field, because you're going to send your copy of Branded Regain to the graveyard off your copy of Solanair to basically just put it back on your side of the field with your copy of Branded Beast during the end phase. We then play a single copy of Magnemite. All of your level 6 Bestial monsters actually share a common effect that you can target a light or dark monster in either graveyard to banish it, and if you do, special summon this card in your hand. It's a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster. But if this card is special summoned to your side of the field, this card is a unique effect, and if this card is special summoned to your side of the field, you can activate this effect that during the end phase of this turn, you can add a dragon monster from your deck or grave to your hand, which is a great ability to instantly grab the exact card that you need. We then play a single copy of Drewsworm just to spot remove cards off the field. 1 copy of Solanair. You really only need a single copy of Solanair in this build to basically just use this card to help you get your copy of Brand Regain into the graveyard. We then also play a single copy of Baldrake just so we can play all the different names in this build to have options for this particular deck. I like playing 1 of each in this deck because it just gives you options because they're all once per turns. We can play 3 copies of Starliege. Starliege is amazing in the deck as a 3-up. This card is one of the best normal summons in the deck, probably the second best normal summon next to your copy of your Black Metal Dragon. This card has the ability you can send any number of dragon monsters from your hand and or face it from the field to the grave to add a dragon monster from your deck to your hand whose level equals the total level, original level of those monsters sent to the graveyard, which is an amazing ability that basically if you send a level 4, you can search a level 4. If you send a level 8, you can search a level 8, which is just really good. You can also manage to card in the graveyard to target a level 8 light or dark dragon monster in the grave and add it back to your hand, which is a great ability because we can actually grab our copies of our Lubellion. We can even grab our copies of Dark End and Light End, which is just really nice to be able to do. We then also play a single copy of Black Dragon. Black Dragon is really good to be able to play in the deck as well. Just banish a light monster to summon this card out to your side of the field. And if it does touch the graveyard from the field, you can search out a copy of White Dragon. We play a single copy of White Dragon. White and Black Dragon are just really good to be able to play in the deck to help you link climb in this particular build. We play a single copy of Galactic Spiral Dragon. Galactic Spiral is really good in the deck as a 1-up, just basically an extender. Because when this card is in your hand or grave, if you control 2 or more light and or dark dragon monsters, you can special summon this card to your side of the field in defense position but banish when it leaves the field. Also, during your main phase, you can make all monsters that you currently control become level 8 until the end of the turn, which is a pretty cool effect, but this card is just really good to help us go in for a copy of our Light and Darkness Dragon Lord. We then play a single copy of Chaos Dragon Levianeer. This card is a great Chaos monster and really good to be able to play in the deck, as you manage a total of 3 light or dark monsters to be able to special summon this card out to your side of the field. If you only banish light monsters, you can special summon a monster from the grave in defense. If you only banish dark, you shuffle a random card from your opponent's hand in the deck. And if you banish both light and dark, you non-target and destroy 2 cards on the field, which is a great ability just to be able to pop 2 on the field. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get in to the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Chaos Space. Chaos Space is a great road-up for the deck, which is why I play this card as a 1-of in the build, letting us send a light or dark monster from our hand to the graveyard to add a light or dark monster that cannot be normal summoner set from our deck to our hand with a level between 4 and 8. And that it cannot be normal summoner set, which is a great ability to be able to search out a copy of Black and White Dragon, cards like Lubellion. You can even search out your copy of Chaos Dragon Levianeer, which is really nice to be able to do. We then play a single copy of Dragons Light and Darkness. I really like this card as a 1-of in the build, but you really only need a single copy of this card, and the artwork is absolutely fire. This card is the ability to activate one of these effects but you can only use each effect of this card once per turn. That you can shuffle a level 8 dragon monster from your hand into the deck to add a level 8 dragon monster with a different attribute from your deck to your hand. Target a dragon monster that you control and it gains attack equal to its level times 200. Or when a card or effect is activated that targets a dragon monster that you control, negate that effect, just giving you a little bit of protection. I really like this card as a 1 in the deck, and I did consider actually playing this card as a 2 of in the build, but it's a really cool card. You can play a single copy of Dragon Ravine. Dragon Ravine is really good in the deck. It is searchable off of our Dragoonity Link monster, and it's basically a foolish burial for the deck. But you can actually discard a card to activate one of these effects to send a dragon monster from our deck to the grave. Play a single copy of Boot Sector Launch. Boot Sector is really good as a 1-of in the build to help us summon out our copies of our rocket monsters to our side of the field. We then play a single copy of Branded Regained. Branded Regained is really good to be able to combine with our Bestial monsters, and just a fantastic card overall. We then play 3 copies of Dragon's Mirror. Dragon's Mirror is actually how we usually summon out our copy of our 5-headed dragon to our side of the field. By just banishing 5 dragon monsters from our graveyard, we can actually summon out our copy of our 5-headed dragon. And this card is really cool in the deck to instantly give us a 5,000 attack point boss monster. We then play 3 copies of Quick Launch. Quick Launch is really good to special summon our rocket monsters directly from our deck to our side of the field. And it's just really good because this card is a basically E-Telly for the deck. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing 1, and that's going to be a single copy of Branded Beast. Branded Beast is great as a 1-of in the build. This card just helps you pop cards on the field, because once per turn during the main phase, if you control a Bestial monster, you can treat a dragon monster, target a card that your opponent controls, and destroy it. And also during the end phase, you can target a branded continuous spell trap in the grave and place it face up on the field, which is going to instantly let you put your copy of your Branded Regained back on your side of the field that you sent to the graveyard off of Sawnier's effect. This card is great in the deck as a 1-of, and it's just really helpful to be able to play in the deck to give you a pop. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start with our main boss monster, 5-headed dragon. This card is a 5,000 attack point, 5,000 defense point boss monster that's super easy to summon out by just banishing 5 dragons from our graveyard. With Dragon's Mirror, we can summon out this awesome boss monster. It's super nostalgic, and I absolutely love this card. We can play a single copy of Light and Darkness Dragon Lord. This card is amazing, and actually one of my favorite cards out of the new set, Infinite Forbidden. And this card is actually a 3 times per turn negate, and it's mandatory that when a card is activated, this card loses 1,000 attack points and you negate that card's effect, which is just really cool. It does require a level 8 light dragon monster and a level 8 dark dragon monster, meaning the light end and dark end monsters you instantly use to be able to fusion summon using their effects to step into this card. And if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can target a dragon monster in your graveyard and special summon it. But keep in mind about this card is that it is mandatory to be able to activate its effect once per chain to negate a card. So after a card is activated, this card will immediately mandatorily activate to basically just negate a card, which is very important to keep in mind about this card's effect. It does lose 1,000 attack, but it is a triple negate, which is amazing. You can play a single copy of Borreload Furious Dragon. Furious Dragon is just really good to be able to play in the deck. She is a level 8 dragon monster that we can use for Light End and Dark End to be able to summon them out to our side of the field. But this card is very easy to summon out as well in this deck by the effects of our Light End, or our copy of Dark End, because you can use Dark End plus another Dark Dragon to step into this card. It's just basically a pop, which is really nice to be able to use. And then play a single copy of Despatter. Despatter is just very easy to summon in this deck because this card lets us basically bring back a banished light or dark monster to our side of the field, and also it's a walking negate, which is amazing to be able to use. We'll play a single copy of Chaos Angel, which is actually one of the only non-dragon monsters we play in the entire extra deck. This card is really good to be able to summon out to our side of the field because you don't actually have to use a tuner to make this card. You can actually just use light and dark monsters to be able to summon this card out to your side of the field. This card actually spawns this card off the field when it touches the field, and it also has the ability to use light monsters, then single monster control are unaffected by monster effects activated by your opponent. If you use dark monsters, monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. You play a single copy of Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend. It's actually the target that I use for Light End and Dark End, besides a copy of Furious Dragon, as the level 8 dragon monster in the extract to be able to send to the graveyard to summon them out. It's really important to be able to play at least 2 in the extract to basically go in for your plays, but I feel like Scarlight is one of the best options, especially since it's a great time card. We then play a single copy of 5-headed Link Dragon. 5-headed Link Dragon is amazing to be able to play, because this card is just really cool to be able to summon out to your side of the field. It does require exactly 5 monsters to link summon into this card, and it must be link summoned. And if this card is link summoned using a Dark Earth, Water, Fire, and Wind attribute monster, you can destroy all cards that your opponent controls. It cannot be destroyed by battle with a Dark Earth, Water, Fire, or Wind monster, and it's unaffected by other card effects. Once per turn, during your opponent's end phase, you must banish 5 cards from your graveyard face down, and it's not optional, or send this card to the graveyard, which is a little bit of a downside, but usually you're going to OTK your opponent when you summon this card out. You can play a single copy of Borrel-In. Borrel-In is just amazing to be able to summon to help you go in for game. This card is amazing because it can be destroyed by battle by card effects. Also, neither player can target this card with monster effects. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. And quick effect, you can target an effect monster on the field and a rocket monster in your grave. Negate the effect of that monster on the field. It would use special summon that monster, the other monster from the graveyard, meaning the rocket monster. And your opponent cannot activate cards or effect in response to this card's activation, basically being a speed spell for Monster Born and a negate all in one, which is amazing. And play a single copy of Triple Burst Dragon. We just play this card for its link arrows, so we can use it with our guard dragon Pisty to basically bring back the monster to our side of the field. Play a single copy of Deliurgus Dragon. Deliurgus is just really good as an extender because it can bring itself back to your side of the field, which is why I play this card as a one of in the deck. Play a single copy of Romulus so we can actually search out our copy of Dragon's Ravine, which is just really cool to be able to do. So if this card is link summoned, you can add a Dragunity Spell Trap or Dragon's Ravine from your deck to your hand, which is the main reason we play this card in the build. Play 2 copies of Seals. Seals is just too easy to summon out to our side of the field. It's just really good to spin cards off the field, which is just really nice to be able to do. We play a single copy of Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon searches out our copy of Boot Sector Launch, and also this card is amazing in the deck as a one-of, because you can even use this card to be able to normal summon out your copy of Black Metal, and then link it away for Striker Dragon, being able to search out your copy of Darkness Metal and Boot Sector Launch off a single normal summon. We then also play a single copy of Guard Dragon Pisty. Pisty is just really good to be able to work with your copy of your Triple Burst Dragon, because what you basically do is link climb into your copy of your Dragunity Link monster, then summon out your copy of Pisty, and then you link away 1 monster on your side of the field with your copy of your Romulus to basically go in for your Triple Burst Dragon, so that your copy of your Pisty and your Triple Burst will point to the same arrow to be able to summon a dragon back from your graveyard, and then you use all the monsters with your copy of Pisty, Triple Burst Dragon, and the monster you brought back to your side of the field to step into Borrel-In Dragon, which is super easy to be able to do in this deck. You can basically do it off of a normal summon, plus any one other card in your hand, which is very easy to be able to do with your copy of your Black Metal Dragon. So, that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a 5-headed dragon deck before, you should definitely give this deck a try, because it's really powerful to be able to play, and it summons out one of the most nostalgic fusion monsters in the game. I absolutely love 5-headed dragon. It's just super cool to be able to summon out to your side of the field. So, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.